6 years ago we bought this abandoned piece of land, trying to figure out a more sustainable way of living. And so far we've been setting up our base camp, renovating a lot of structures, clearing up invasive trees, and sharing everything what we do with you guys online so we can all learn from it. And in this video I'm going to show you all the projects we're going to do for this year. And there's also a new twist this year because we have a new space that is outside of Project Kamp to make sure we can reach our mission even faster. Welcome to a new Project Kamp update. The beginning of the season always means a lot of new people to onboard. On the one hand, people that come new to Project Kamp and they've never been here before, but also some people that might have a new role or they start managing a team and they need to learn how that works, what kind of responsibilities they need to take on. So at the beginning we spend a lot of time on that and just making sure everyone is aligned. Plus also revitalizing a few structures that were already there. They might need some maintenance, some extra work, some care, some refinement. So not necessarily initiating a lot of big new projects, but making sure whatever we have running, make it run good. So let's have a look what all these teams are going to do this year. And let's start with Adrian in the workspace.
This year we are going to wrap up some projects. Let me show you. We are going to finish up this brick ruin and convert it into 2 rooms. We are fixing a few things in the pig trailer and maybe adding some details there. We will also make some improvements in the fridge box. We also want to finalize this basin that we discovered a few years ago. We still don't know what to do here, so if you have some ideas, please let us know. And last but not least, one of our biggest projects, the community center. This year we want to have all the paperwork ready, all the systems planned, and hopefully to start to build it.
Hi, I'm Jakob. I'm taking on the role of the landscape manager this season. And I'm going to walk you through a little bit of what we're going to plan over the season. The first project of the season for us will be the continuation of the bramble patch down to the bottom field. There we have quite a few mimosas and we want to cut them down, opening the space to the bottom field and then have access from there. The idea for the patch behind me is kind of plan around it, what it could become in the future. Try to put together some different ideas and then maybe decide on one already. Okay, down here, this is where our water runs to in the field. And we want to change that. We want to work on a little bit of a scalable solution. So in the future, when we have the community center, we can just upscale the sewage system and then apply it there. That would be the ideal scenario for us. Behind me, we have the watershed and we want to clear around that area, not only to protect it, but also that it has kind of a nice terrace. So maybe that could become a nice addition to the whole Midland. But we can only know if we clear the area from the mimosas. So here next to me, you can see the patch that we debarked in season 3. And this year we want to get rid of it. We want to chop it down and then we can see what worked and what might not have worked. And once the whole patch is gone, that will give us the opportunity to continue the swales we already dug on the fruit tree patch and make the fruit tree patch even bigger in the future.
Basekamp Infrastructure. This is a new pod from last year and it is a little bit less specialized than the other pods. It's sort of a go-to for all the different systems we have on the land and making sure that they are maintained and running smoothly throughout the season. These fall into 4 different categories, such as the utilities, the recycle systems, the plants and wildlife we have, and our shared spaces. Let's go on a little tour of each of those 4 systems. So our utilities, we have gas, water, electricity, internet, we have firewood, straw, sawdust, lots of different things which have been running throughout the previous seasons for many years. So no new projects for this year, but lots of little things to keep an eye on. Another system which we have is our recycling bins, which is for a lot of our material waste, which we try not to waste and to hand over so that the materials can be reused or recycled. But for as many of the waste products as we can, we like to keep them in the land and not let them be wasted. That's a lot easier with our organic systems, such as our compost, biodigester, or even our poop palace here, which we've seen built in previous seasons, and now this year just needs somebody to maintain it and to have an eye on the system running smoothly. And these systems over the years have been producing a lot of good stuff, such as compost. And this season we plan to put that to good use on areas such as our gardens, our fruit trees, all of the beautiful areas in our base camp which we have planted and now aim to care for in their first few summers as they grow. And while it is lovely for us to live amongst so much wildlife here at camp, sometimes wildlife can mean things such as rats or flies, and these have been a problem for us in previous seasons. This year we have plans to help prevent them overrunning our shared spaces and to make this space a little bit more friendly for the campers here. And speaking of shared spaces, there are lots of structures which we've built around the land, and for this year it's good to have somebody such as myself to have an overview of these things and seeing what needs maintained and when these things can get fixed. The little things like benches needing fixed or wiring issues. Not my area of expertise, but Felipe is going to zoom in. So, not many big plans for infrastructure this year, but there are plenty of small things going on in the background, which we're really looking forward to. So, we'll go into a bit more detail later in the season, but for now, I hand it over to
me! I will be the kitchen manager this season, and for the kitchen, it's a little bit different, because there's already quite a good structure that we have. Twice a day we provide lunch and dinner, and we do groceries twice a week, and we go to our local farmers and shops to get food for everyone. So there's not really a big project that we're gonna do, but maybe more small things that come up. For instance, we want to look into providing a good overview for everyone what a healthy vegan meal contains, so people get the nutrition that they need. The team right now is really into preserving food, so there's already lots of stuff in the fermentation station, and I assume way more to come. And what's also every year a returning challenge in the kitchen is that there is kind of a, I would call it a tension triangle between sustainability, nutrition, and the cooks. In this kitchen we cook in a sustainable way, and we do that by cooking vegan, local, with whole foods, organic and seasonal. And then there's also the nutrition. Every meal should have protein, carbs, fiber, vitamins. And then there's the cooks. And the cooks come with a lot of energy and they want to cook amazing stuff, but they get limited. Limited by the sustainability, by the whole foods that we cook with. So there's a tension, the cooks, the sustainability, the nutrition. And this tension, it can lead to frustration. But if we keep an eye on it and be aware of it, it can also lead towards creativity. So that's our goal for this season, to go towards creativity and not towards the frustration. And that's it for the kitchen.
Okay, Videomaking Pod. So one challenge we had last season is that I was looking for a replacement on the management so I could grow into other positions at camp. And the thing is that we didn't find one video manager, but two. Okay, this is Tom, this is Felipe, and they will explain you how it's going to be this season, so I leave you with them.
Yeah, we're really excited to take on the roles of video managers. We can shed a new perspective on everything that's happening in Project Kamp. We can tell new stories actually, we've been reading a lot of the YouTube comments, and there's some question for more of camp life instead of only looking at the projects and the work that we do here. At the same time, we have the challenge of keeping the videos in the style of Project Kamp and just publishing a quality update every week. So that's what's coming for us, and we're confident that we can do a good season together.
So another thing that's going to be changing is the Patreon. So patrons from this season onward will be able to see the videos 2 weeks in advance before they go live on YouTube. And the reason for this is sometimes we see some really insightful feedback and comments on Patreon, And if we would want to apply these changes, we would have 2 weeks ahead before they go live on YouTube. So one thing that will stay the same from last season is that we will keep the Q&As on Patreon. So it's a bit more of a closed, cozy space where people can ask questions. The people on Patreon are generally a bit more involved in the project than with random YouTube questions. So we think it's a good place for it to stay there.
And okay, and it's not that I'm gonna vanish from Project Kamp. I'm still long term, and also I'm gonna be doing the story master role, which actually is kind of a script writer, director, so it's somebody who's helping the campers recording their projects. So it's gonna be moving all around the place, and still until we find somebody who can take effectively this role. So yeah, there's an application there open in case you want to give it a try. And also we have still the application open for some editors because we have some people coming, but still we have some room for more. And maybe something that you can consider for season 6. And for now, I leave it up to you guys. Good luck. Ciao, ciao.
Okay, let's do this.
Let's do this.
So the overall work of Basekamp Pod is actually managing the people that are coming and going. From the moment before they even arrive, so to get to know what kind of things get expected, till the moment that they arrive, where they have a way to integrate smoothly and get to know all the ways of working, so they can participate. We have this in different systems, and they need updating every year. Another important element is that we want to keep on connecting with our neighbors. And one way we are doing this is to implement Portuguese lessons in our week. We also harvest with the neighbors, like we do all the other years as well. Overall, we are keeping on working on how to integrate the best into our local surroundings. Talking about local surroundings, we are moving into town this year. And we are not just moving into town, we are moving into a building that used to be a house, and we are turning it into an office. It took us a bit to find it, but we got the right one now. This is the place we rented. A nice stone building, recently renovated and with more than enough space.
So, the space at the moment is not ready for an office. It used to be a bedroom, they don't use it for a bit, so it's for a table, 2 beds. So next step would be to clear everything out, to start to think what we can do with this space to create a nice office.
So now we are in the big city searching for furniture for the office in all the second-hand shops. So let's have a look. Some office tables. This one? That's pretty cool. Sì, passa. Very small. Very small. I think back in the days people were a bit smaller and they didn't use that many technical devices besides just pen and paper. And even though these tables are pretty standard and maybe not the prettiest, they might do the job because they are big and wide and gives us a lot of space for the computers. Seeing an interesting chair over there. Ooh! Fish, perfeito! Opa!
Chapéu gata.
2, opa! So now all this space is completely empty, and you can actually see how spacious it is. Now it's just a matter of bringing in the tables and seeing how to place it in a way that it's a nice office space. This is the first floor of the office where we will have dedicated workspaces. We don't have window cleaning stuff, so we do it with newspaper. The best. So Adrian, now we are cleaning the windows and you're just sitting here. What are you doing?
I'm changing the name and the password of the Wi-Fi. Because now we have a super fast internet finally.
What is going to be the name?
I don't know yet.
So why we need an office in town? So at the moment you see us a lot developing the site there in Project Kamp, where we built Project Kamp. But our long-term goal is not that there's one Project Kamp just there. We want to have multiple of these places around the world where people on the one hand figuring out new technologies on how to live more sustainable and systems, but also actually living those systems so more people in the world live in a sustainable way. And in order to do this, we use a lot video and sharing our documentation to make it easier for other people to also replicate these things. So a really big part of us is just this digital connection between us here and the rest of the world. And for that, we need an office, because this is the tool we use to have good internet, computers, and an online platform where we can share information with you guys. So what it is that we want to make is, on the one hand, 5 years of documentation and projects that build. So we want to make proper blueprints and technical drawings and videos that you can replicate it. With this, we will also make this online platform where people have a map and they can find each other. So you can collaborate with people locally, you can ask questions, you can find the actual information. So for that, we need more like design and coding to make that happen. Then we will also make a few recap videos where we summarize all these projects that you might have seen over multiple episodes and bring them together. So you really have one condensed video. For that, we need video editors. And we also want to make a bit of a better promotional video for Project Kamp, because you might have experienced this if you want to share your friends what is Project Kamp and you need to tell them to watch 150 episodes of 30 minutes. It's a bit much. So just one 2-minute video that explains what is Project Kamp and update the website to make sure it's super clear what we do. So there's a lot of stuff we want to do this year, and to make sure it actually is going to happen is one of the reasons we set up an office, so we can be more productive. But we also set up a specific team for this to really take care of all these projects. And Louisa is going to manage that.
That's me. And we still need more people. So if you are interested, check out the open applications and maybe we can have a call, see if we find something. It's very exciting and we will release a lot of things. And you can basically work from the couch on your laptop, and you don't need to chop trees to support.
And there's 60-cent coffee right across the street. 60 cents.
Okay, so let's get it ready.
Yeah!
Okay, now you know what the office in town is for. Just a few more details and it will be ready. The ground floor has the kitchen, a little sofa, a higher table to stand, And it can also be used for having a meeting. It's also cool to have this office because, as we said before, it will connect us more with our neighbors. And since we are here, we thought, let's make an inauguration.
It's not open yet. The ribbon is not cut.
Yeah, so that's basically all the stuff going on in Project Kamp, and you might not always see it, but it's really those two kind of parallel worlds going on. On the one hand, just making sure the camp runs and functions, and on the other hand, developing these important projects like the community center that will bring us to the next step, or releasing all this documentation we've been working on in the last 5 years. So thanks a lot for supporting us along the way. Helps a lot if you watch the videos, if you watch support on Patreon, if you subscribe. Yeah, thanks. And that's it for this video. See you next week.